Hey everybody, it's Richie here with All American Pet, and today we're virtually here with our friend Debbie Schaefer from Well Mannered Dog in Eugene, and we wanted to share some kind of points and ask Debbie some questions as far as what can you do when you're working from home or you're unable to work and you're at home during this kind of COVID-19 situation, but also it's something that can be timeless that you can use down the road if you're on vacation or when the kids are out from spring break or summer vacation and they're going to be at home. So we just have a few different topics that we want to discuss. But hey Debbie, how have you been doing?
I'm great. I've been working hard, keeping busy.
And you've been switching things up from in the classroom setting to actually coming into basically doing virtual training. So
Right, the online plan. Yeah.
that's something that we'll talk a little bit about later. So, since there's no school right now, and through the end of the year, basically the school year's been canceled, at least in Oregon. If you're watching this in another state, we're probably assuming that it either is out or possibly canceled for the rest of the year, just due to the COVID situation. But, when if you're at home working and let's say the kids are at home and they're not normally at home all day long, you're not normally at home all day long, and then you get the rising tension. So what are other things that would be beneficial for having, kids in the house longer than normal or more than normal with dogs, just because it's switching up the dog's routine as well as the kids' routine. So what would be some
Yeah.
good?
Amazing, isn't it? I mean, you would have never thought that school would be canceled. Every child's dream until they get bored, which I think is what's going to start happening. Kids are going to get bored. Dogs are going to be bored, and they're going to start playing off of each other. So some great games that actually enhance the child-dog relationship, plus relieve some of that boredom, would be games of hide and go seek. Hide and go seek can be played in a couple of different ways. One way would be a parent holds the dog's collar, the child goes and hides, and they call the dog, "Find me, Rover, find me." And the parent lets go of the dog's collar, and the dog goes running over there, searching different spots. And when the dog finds the child, they give them treats, and then they repeat. A child could possibly play this by themselves by sprinkling treats on the ground and then disappearing and hiding. They're not going to be able to go very far that way, probably. But you can also change that up. So the dog and the child are hiding together. They're in a spot, squeezed in together. The child's probably, giving the dog little treats. And when the parent calls out, "Where are you?" and finds them, the job is for the child and the dog to burst out and to run to a home base where they're not going to get tagged. So the parent is finding the child and the dog together, and the child and the dog are working as a team to get to home base. We want to make sure under that set of circumstances that if it's a dog that has a tendency to nip kids in a playful fashion or jump on them, that maybe it's a walk and give the dog treats as they're walking as opposed to a run. But it can be a great game. Another game that they can do is anything that would be considered a simple trick. Teaching the dog to sit up and beg or roll over. Kids really like being a part of the process, but they have to learn how to do it. So I recommend that the parent or an older sibling actually plays the part of the dog. And they coach the child on how to do the training. Put your hand on the dog's nose, use the food to tip the dog's head up. And if the child isn't quite following the instructions, that older person is going to do what the dog would do. So the dog starts to jump on the child. They're going to gently, put their feet on and say, "Oh, wow, okay, so what do we need to do with our food differently?" So it can be a learning, educational experience. And then, of course, as the child gets proficient and knows what to do, then they can just have a list. If they can read, they can have a list that they're going through on these tricks. And they can then put together a skit or a play that they can show off at the end of the week. And then the third one I have that's really great for kids and dogs is something called a twin obstacle course. A twin obstacle course would be basically 2 lanes, and they look identical. So maybe you have a couple of old tires. So starting point on each one is a tire. And maybe there's just a piece of wood that is 8 to 10 feet from that one. And then maybe there's something you've used to make a low jump, something that's going to be safe for the dog and the child. And so you have this line of 3 to 5 things. And so the child's going to have their starting point in their lane, and the dog's going to have their starting point, and probably is going to have either a sit stay or a person holding the dog's collar. And on your mark, get set, go, both of them are racing down to the end. So it could be a person on the other end calling the dog. It could be a person helping the dog do the obstacle course. And usually the dogs win. So if a child's going to get upset about that, then we might have to adjust distances so that the child has a better shot and feels like it's more equal.
Yeah, because dogs are much faster, obviously, than people. So.
They have 4 feet. Yeah.
And the other thing I was gonna ask too is like when you mentioned the hide and seek, that's also another great tool just to reinforce like kind of that come. Isn't that like something to?
It's an excellent come in one called game. Yeah.
So not only is it helping like occupy and distract the child in the process, but it's also helping reinforce the dog's like recall skills, correct?
The association of recall skills with the child, which is different because a parent could have great recall skills, but the child have nothing. So it's specific with the recall skills with the child.
And then you have a better dog and an occupied child. So that's like great tips.
Multiple benefits.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Debbie, for your time. I understand, like, for you, there's a big change in just how your life has been done as normal and you're switching to virtual. So, I mean, is that something that if somebody's curious to check out, how would they find out more about one of your virtual classes or?
So they always have the option of calling me at 541-603-6868. We do also have everything listed on my website, humanedogtraining.com. So there's a link right at the top that says online options during COVID-19. They would click that, and it's going to give them a lot of choices. The online classes actually have some advantages over in-person classes for many dogs. And so even after this is over, I think we are going to continue with some aspect of online forums to aid in the person's learning process and the dog's learning process. There's benefits there for both of them. So even after this, we're going to continue with options that are going to enhance the learning.
That's great. So if you're interested, we'll have a link in the bottom of the comments here or above, depending on what you're viewing this on. So you can check out Debbie. We'll have a link to her Facebook page, and her website. Just check it out. Give her a call if you have questions. And Debbie, I just want to thank you so much for taking your time and sharing these tips with us, because it's really something that we like to be able to help our customers and their pets, because it's a change of life for everybody. So just thanks so much for the advice.
A lot of my clients have been asking, okay, where do I get my training supplies at now? Because I think some of them are under the impression that they can't go to pet stores. So what are you offering so that they can still get their treat bag, their clicker, their chews, their dog food?
Currently we're allowing people into the store if you are no symptoms and feel fine. We also have been working on an online portal so you can be able to purchase stuff like Ziwi Peak and other things. You can purchase it, we could call for a payment where you can pay and you get notified when it's ready, and you can come and we can just place it in your car for curbside pickup. We are also offering within a limited metro area free delivery for any order over $25, just kind of through the COVID-19 situation, because for us, it's not going to be a moneymaker. And for the most part, we probably would lose money on it, but it's just something we want to be able to offer to people that may be shut in or not able to get out due to health reasons or other things. So for their protection and safety, we would just want to provide that as a service for them. So
so generous. I really appreciate the generosity that you show.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of just, I guess, the way I feel like you should do it. And we'll have some other of the clickers and training tools on the site. Last night, I think we put some gentle eaters, so we'll have like even the easy walk harness and the gentle eater will be available too. So if it's something that you're, like, let's say the dog chewed it up out of boredom and you need to get another one, we'll have that option for you. So
That's great. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you again, Debbie, for your time. And we just appreciate all that you do for our customers. We have several customers that just, that we share. So we hear nothing but good stuff from them about you. So we just thank you again for your time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. You guys have a good day.
Bye.